All right, what's going on, everybody? Welcome to the Michael Garza Show. What's going on? We're getting a couple things set up. I'm running a little slow this morning. My apologies. Trying to pick up the pace. I'm being a slow boy this morning, you guys. I'm being a very slow boy. Well, that's weird. Hold on, I gotta fix something with one of the, what do you call it? You guys will have to give me a second, man. Eric Von Eric, what up, bro? Huh. Hold on, you guys. Eric Von Eric, I love you, brony. You're my man, dog. You're the man now, dog. There's a new version of Stream Chat Ninja that I gotta download. Hold on, you guys. There's a new version of Social Stream Chat Ninja. It's the program that I use to highlight chats. So I do like to make sure that that's good. So it'll take a few seconds, but while we're waiting for it, we're going to pull up. What the fuck are we gonna pull up? Hold on. All right, we're gonna pull up YouTube. We got Annie in the house. What up, Annie? We got all sorts of people. Let me pull up the chat. Come on, man. Come on. So do you guys think that Trump wants a peace deal? Because honestly, I think he does. I really do. I think Daddy Trump, I think my man wants a peace deal. I think he does. What up, E.T., my boy? E.T. Okay, so I don't know if this is actually downloading or not. I'm going to check my downloads folder. Like, it says it's downloading, but I don't know if it is. Okay, maybe this is. So, 0.3. Yeah, this is the new one. I guess we'll just install it. Yeah, run anyway. $10 gas. I don't believe you, bro. Add additional install path can conflict with anti-cheat in some games. Okay, whatever. That's fine. I don't give a shit. That's fine. Yeah, I don't care. It's good. All right. Thank you guys for your patience. We're trying to get this underway. Just bear with me here. If you can, while we're getting Social Stream Chat Ninja to work, double tap your screen to like the stream. One more time. Double tap your screen to like the stream. Let's go. Oh, E.T.'s killing it, dude. E.T. I love you, E.T. You're killing it, brony. My brony bro. I love you, E.T. E.T. You are for me. Me. We got Annie in the house, dude. Everybody celebrate. Celebrate good times. Come on, then we'll celebrate a celebration. We're gonna have a good time tonight. It's all right. All right, I think Social Stream Chat Ninja's fully installed. Hopefully. We'll see. I actually don't know if it is or not. Well, fuck it. While we're waiting, we might as well react to a few videos. Oh, maybe it is working. Hold on. Oh, here we go, dude. It's working. StreamTat Ninja, baby. There we go. All right, now we're back in business. We're back in business, business. We's back in business. Oh, my God. If you guys can, don't forget to tap the gift button and send a gift. If anybody's out there. Let's take a look.
Well, someone who's living...
Donald J. Trump. Trump reveals remarkable details of chopper downing. Let's take a look.
Every day who's there in Israel is Trey Yingst, and he joins us now. Trey, what do you make of this latest Truth Social post?
Yeah, guys, good morning. I just got off the phone with President Trump, and he gave Fox News some brand new details on what happened with that Apache helicopter that went down earlier this week, and provided his thinking on where things stand with the negotiation. I want to start with a story the president told me, new details about the downing of this U.S. Army Apache helicopter. President Trump tells Fox News that the Iranian drone lodged in between the two pilots in this helicopter. They were flying very low. And at that point, the drone didn't explode as it had intended to. And so these pilots were trying to take down the helicopter with the drone lodged into this gunship without it exploding. And at any moment, it could have exploded, the president...
That's crazy. Holy shit.
...told me. And he said it was on fire. There was a lot of heat inside the cockpit of this helicopter. And ultimately, these two pilots were able to take it down into the sea, where ultimately they were rescued for the first time in U.S. military history by an unmanned sea drone. Now, President Trump also talked about...
No, they were rescued by an unmanned sea drone. That is... Wow, that's kind of crazy, dude. They got lucky, though. The fact that the drone did not explode the way it should have, they got lucky. They got lucky. They just... Iran's cooked, dude. Iran is cooked.
About the U.S. strikes last night against Iranian radar systems and air defense sites. He said the Iranians had tried to rebuild during the ceasefire their defensive capabilities, but they were unable to stop these U.S. strikes overnight, and they were hammered.
Good. Iran should just have no military at this point. I honestly, and I'll tell you why, because they've been the #1 state sponsor of terror. They were enriching uranium to weapons grade, near weapons grade. They're just not good. Not good. Yeah.
By U.S. fighter jets. Now, interestingly, President Trump told me that he is getting close to ordering new strikes against Iranian power plants and bridges, because he says the Iranians are tapping the United States along when it comes to the negotiating process. He says the bully of the Middle East is dead, and he told me...
Iran is basically cooked at this point. And by the way, with the U.S. blockade still in force, Iran's cooked even further.
I may keep going when I asked him about a possible response to the Iranian missile fire that targeted U.S. forces in Kuwait, Bahrain, and Jordan overnight. The president said they had a chance to sign a deal and survive, indicating again that he may order new strikes against the Iranian regime in response to their dragging their feet at the negotiating table. Again, though, the latest information that we got from President Trump about that helicopter that went down earlier this week, really a remarkable story. The president called it a miracle. This drone hits the Apache helicopter, lodges between the two pilots. It's on fire, and there's a massive amount of heat coming out of the drone, but it doesn't explode. And these pilots very quickly, within seconds, because they're flying very low, take the helicopter down into the sea And then ultimately, about 2 hours later, according to U.S. Central Command, they are rescued for the first time in U.S. military history by an unmanned sea drone.
I feel like we just watched this.
The president ordering those strikes overnight to target Iranian radar systems and those air defense sites that the Iranians have tried to rebuild during the ceasefire. They weren't supposed to do that, but the president said just a few percentages of that defensive capability they were able to rebuild. And President Trump says they took out about 55% of what they were even able to rebuild. But just a remarkable story about these U.S. pilots from the Army that were able to survive this ordeal against an Iranian drone lodged into their helicopter. And again, President Trump ordering those powerful strikes overnight to send a message to the Iranian regime that he is not done. And if they are unwilling to make a deal, the president tells Fox News he may keep going.
One of the things that would stop him, that stopped him from going back, multiple things. There's people in his administration who is just concerned about the election. I can understand that, and just don't feel we should have been doing it anyway. The other thing was the Gulf states. The Gulf states were getting worried because they were being targeted, and they're worried about their oil and gas, which fuels their economy, pun intended. And at this point, it seems, Trey, by what you say and what the president just said and what the analysis you've offered, at this point, it seems the president says, yeah, I hear you, but it looks like it's in our best interest for me to go ahead anyway. It seems like we're getting close to that because he's able to monitor the interaction that the Iranians are having with each other, and that brings him to that conclusion.
Well, that's good. I mean, if he's able to at least... So Trump is able to monitor the communique between Iran and the Gulf states? Yeah, I hope Trump is finally just going to say, we're done. I hope Trump just says, we're done dealing with you, Iran. We're just done. We can't do it anymore. We're going to take you out. I think that's going to have to happen at some point. It's going to. It's an Iran peace deal. He wants an Iran peace deal somehow, some way.
Yes, absolutely. And the president talked about the oil prices around $80 to $90 a barrel. And remember, some analysts said they were going to be at 300. And because of the way that the president has conducted these negotiations, it has reinstalled, I think, faith in these Gulf countries who are responsible for so much of the world's crude oil production and LNG production. Remember, the Qataris account just by themselves for about 20% of the world's LNG production. I've talked with regional sources, and they say President Trump has strategic patience. And he's given the Iranians an olive branch time and time again, offering them a chance to make a good faith deal at the table to open the Strait of Hormuz, abandon their nuclear ambitions, get rid of that nuclear dust,
laugh
and
out loud,
de-escalate the situation across the region. And the president at the same time has been calling on Gulf allies of the United States, like Saudi Arabia, like Qatar, and others, to join the Abraham Accords. Because the larger vision here for President Trump is to develop an accords that will create peace across the Middle East and have these countries normalize ties with Israel. Because we saw the Israelis striking Iran just a number of days ago in response to the ballistic missile fire toward this country. But what I gathered from my conversation with the president is that he is working to exhaust all diplomatic options.
Yeah.
Again, he has given the Iranians a chance at diplomacy, and they haven't taken it. The president said himself.
And this is the problem that I've had with Iran this entire time. We've given Iran way too much time. We need to just, honestly, I hope Trump just stops trying to talk to them, because you can't talk to somebody who's just going to keep effing with you. You know what I mean? Iran keeps effing with the U.S. It's not going to work. Trump, just finish the job, bro. Just finish the job, man. That's all we're asking, dude. Trump, finish the job, bro. Double tap your screen if you believe that Trump needs to finish the job. That we can't deal with Iran. Trump's the man.
All they had to do was sign, and they could survive. And they've chosen not to do so far. And that is why...
And this is why he just needs to go full bore. That's why he's got to go full bore, babe.
President Trump told me he is getting close to targeting Iran's power plants and bridges if they are
At this point, you have to. If Iran is going to keep effing with us, if they're going to keep screwing with us, Donald Trump, it's got to be power plant and bridge day is what I'm thinking, Brony. They're not willing to work with us. Iran's not going to do it. I mean, I hope they do. I hope a deal actually happens. But I severely doubt it's going to happen.
Willing to sign a deal. He told me he may keep going as it relates to the U.S. strikes overnight. And he said Iran is tapping the United States along, and he's not going to stand for it.
Trey, real quickly, because you've had the opportunity to talk with the president today, but before that as well. And you know he has a distinction. He calls some of these strikes little love taps.
Love taps, huh?
Did you get the impression that the president was doing the love taps to get them back to the table?
Yeah, we should stop doing love taps and just do power plant and bridge day. That's what I think. Power plant and bridge day. Let's go, dude.
Or are we past the love taps and the president is getting ready to restart the full operation?
We're past all that, dude. We're past all of that. No more games, dude. No more games. All right, let's keep going.
It's a great question, and ultimately that's going to be up to President Trump. But at this point, again, he has given the Iranians a chance time and time again for more than 2 months to reach a negotiated settlement. And as the president has told me, and regional intelligence sources have told Fox News in recent weeks, this is a pretty simple deal. Iran has to sign on the dotted line, and they have two options here. They can either open the Strait of Hormuz and make these commitments as it relates to their nuclear program and export or destroy all of that enriched material.
But they're not. I think here's the problem with Iran, man. They're just doing everything that's... Iran's just doing everything wrong is essentially what it's boiling down to. We can't keep negotiating with Iran. By the way, if you guys think that Donald Trump's on the right track, double tap your screen. If you guys are tired of Iran and you think that it should just be power plant and bridge day, double tap your screen. We're done. I think we should be done with Iran. Stop negotiating. We've given them so much time. In fact, we've given Iran too much time. That's a problem.
Ultimately, this is going to resume into an intense military operation against the Iranian regime. Remember, last night, the majority of the U.S. strikes were focused on the southwestern part of Iran. President Trump ordered these strikes against Iranian radar systems and against air defense systems that the Iranians tried to rebuild during the ceasefire. And there are a variety of strike options on the table for President Trump. And so he maintains this leverage. He holds the cards here. And the Iranians thought for a very long time, according to intelligence sources in the region, that they could wait out President Trump. They thought that he cared about the World Cup or the midterms. Ultimately, he showed last night he cares about victory on the battlefield and about either reaching an agreement with the Iranian regime that ensures they never have a nuclear weapon, or ultimately doing this through force. And so, again, President Trump has a variety of options on the table here. But I think when we talk about this in...
If you think that we're winning the Iran war here pretty soon, double tap your screen, because I think Trump is done. I would like to believe that Trump is done dealing with Iran. If you believe this war is going to be over very soon, double tap your screen, man, because I think it's going to be over. I think that this war is pretty close to being over. I just don't foresee it going on any further. But double tap your screen if you think I'm right. If you think that this war is just about over, double tap. Let's go.
Enriched material. It's a very important point here because we've been briefed by you.
Because I really don't think this is going to be a forever war. If you guys think this is going to be a forever war, you know, I feel bad for you, son. I got 99 problems, but yeah, double tap your screen if you think I'm right.
U.S. officials, and I want to just take our viewers very quickly through this process because it's important to understand how the Iranians are getting closer to weapons-grade material. When uranium ore is mined from the ground, ultimately it goes through a chemical process and it's turned.
And this is what I've been talking about. This is what I've been talking about. Iran was enriching uranium to near weapons grade. That is a problem. Also, Obama's deal had no real safeguards in it. The deal took Iran at their word, and you can't take Iran at their word, ever, when it comes to this nuclear crap. You cannot take Iran at their word, okay? That's just facts, dude. That's just facts.
Into yellow cake, and then through another chemical process, that yellow cake is turned into a hexafluoride gas, and they spin that gas very rapidly in these advanced centrifuges that the Iranians had a lot of in their nuclear facilities that were targeted during Operation Midnight Hammer last summer. But as they repeat this process over and over again, the lighter particles go to the outside of these centrifuges and the heavier ones stay at the inside. And they repeat the process over and over again, and they increase the purity of this enriched material to around 60% purity. One step further, you get to 90% purity, and that is weapons grade.
That's crazy. And it doesn't take that many steps to get to weapons grade. Crazy. Give me 1 second. Oh man, this is cray cray. You know what I mean? All right. Hey, look, if you guys agree with me, tap the like button. Double tap your screen if you agree with me that Iran is cooked. That Trump, I think Trump's got to be done playing games at some point. If you think that Trump needs to stop playing games and you agree with me on this, double tap your screen.
Material for a nuclear bomb. And remember, let's rewind here. Before Operation Epic Fury began, President Trump tried again to give the Iranian regime an opportunity at a diplomatic solution, and their opening position was to tell U.S. Special Envoy Steve Witkoff that they had enough highly enriched uranium to create 11 nuclear bombs. And so the president took them at the
11 nuclear bombs? And he took, if they're going to tell you that, if they're basically going to give away their, wow, that's a lot of freaking bombs.
their word, and ultimately ordered Operation Epic Fury to begin. And now, once again, President Trump is...
Yeah, Operation Epic Fury is looking more justified every single day. To those of you who think that Epic Fury wasn't justified, come on, man. Come on. Give me a break.
trying to give the Iranians an off-ramp over and over, and they're not taking his offer. And that is why President Trump tells Fox News that he may carry on with more strikes against the Iranian regime until they're willing to sign a deal. And he says he is getting closer to targeting Iranian power plants and bridges.
Huh. Trey, if you missed the beginning of his head, he just talked to the president, and that's what the president was telling him. So we'll see. Thank you so
Great
much,
job,
Trey.
Trey.
Excellent information.
Be sure to like and subscribe for all the Fox News latest on YouTube and catch full shows streaming now on Fox One.
All right, let's take a look at all this, man. Oh, Ben's final message. Here we go.
I don't know exactly what this is about. Laugh out loud.
This is the Lego thing. Oh, Lou the chicken dude, thank you for the 100. Thank you for the gift. I mucho apreciado. If you guys want to be like Lou, send a gift, man. We appreciate gifts on this channel quite a bit, and gifts really do help. Double tap the screen if you guys love Reckless Ben. If you guys love Reckless Ben, Small as much Wiener as I do, Gang, double tap the screen. Har, thank you for subscribing. Everybody, give a shout out to Har for subscribing to the channel. Mucho apreciado. Let's go, dude.
So we're gonna look at it right now. Here we go.
Episode 3 is finally finished after crazy all-nighters and basically destroying my health.
Great.
But I can't post it or I will go to jail. And not only that, I will also
Laugh out
immediately
loud.
lose my lawsuit.
Hey, thank you so much. Everybody give a shout out to Dur Altwich. Thank you for the sparkles for 2 jewels. I appreciate it. Anybody who wants to send a gift, by the way, you do get highlighted on screen. So if you send a gift, you could send small gifts and it will continuously interrupt the stream. So if you like interrupting streams because you're a funny guy, I appreciate it. Send a gift, man. We appreciate it. We love our gifts on this channel. Also, double tap the screen if you love Reckless Ben, by the way. If you love what Reckless Ben has done and you support Reckless Ben and you agree with me on Reckless Ben, I hope you guys double tap the screen.
Of $300,000, and the GoFundMe we made for Brian will go straight to this mystery company that I am no longer.
Oh, I wonder who the mystery company is. I think we all know it's Bricks and Mini Fricks.
Allowed to talk about. They sent court papers to my email, which I guess a judge approved for them that this was a valid form of service. And so now that I'm officially served, I cannot even mention this company or I will be in jail and everything.
How is his email valid service? That sounds like bullshit.
That does sound like BS, exactly. I agree with Asman on this one. It's not adding up. I am so sick of Bricks and Minifigs, though. I hope that the entire company Bricks and Minifigs goes down. I hope that Bricks and Minifigs goes down. Straight up.
Normally I would be like, screw the big guy telling me what to do. I'm going to do what's morally right. But in this situation, if I do that, then
Yeah, he doesn't want to put the money that they raised at risk.
all my friends get screwed with this lawsuit and we lose all the GoFundMe money we raised, like immediately. So I am no longer allowed to even mention this mystery company. My personal opinion is that...
And we all know who the company is. It's Bricks and Mini you-know-whats. We love you, Ben. We're done seeing you get bullied by this freaking company, man. We're done.
This is unfair because this order...
It's completely unfair. They're using the legal system to avoid accountability and to protect...
Yep. They absolutely are. And, you know, this makes Bricks and Minifigs look worse. I think this entire company is going down the shitter. I think Bricks and Minifigs is done. I don't think they have a shot anymore.
Protect themselves from fraud. That's what's happening. I think this is ridiculous. I think the federal government should get involved with this.
Yep.
There is very clearly corruption going on. There's very clearly something going wrong, and something needs to happen. Something does absolutely need to happen.
Yes.
CoffeeZilla is making a video about this. I saw that, yeah. And more fraud. I know.
Yeah, I can't wait to see the CoffeeZilla video about this, actually, because we all need to rally behind Ben. We all need to rally behind Ben. Tiny Lion Gaming says, why is YouTube broken now? What's happening with YouTube, TLG? Wait. Why is YouTube broken? Oh, TLG is saying, is it broken for anyone else lately? It keeps not loading live streams when I'm scrolling. I have to click the channel and go to the live section. Oh, okay. I don't know. I don't really. I don't. You know, it's funny. I make vertical lives, but I never really look them up. Admittedly. Hey, of course, we still got Annie in the house. Hell yeah. We love our Annie on this channel. Annie's amazing.
This is insane that you've had all this happen. It's lawfare. It is.
Yeah, it is lawfare. By the way, if you guys agree with me that this is lawfare, double tap your screen. If you agree with me that Reckless Ben is innocent, double tap your screen if you agree with me.
His GoFundMe got removed. I bet it did. I don't know why or what the reasoning for that was, but yeah, that's.
By the way, the GoFundMe is back up. By the way, the GoFundMe is back up. Just to let you know.
Someone should DM JD Vance.
It's probably what probably happens when they removed it. I bet GoFundMe got a flood of messages from everybody across the internet saying you better put this back up, and none of it better go to bricks and minifigs. None of it. Tiny Lion Gaming says, they are crazy, Garza. You are one of the more normal streamers on here. To be honest, I'm actually kind of shocked about that because, but my original streams on Vertical Lives were me putting frosting on my face. And by the way, I'm still not above that, by the way. Yes, allegedly, the GoFundMe account's back up, so I'm very happy about that. And by the way, Ben and Brian Mansell deserve all the money in the world for what Bricks and Minifigs has put those guys through. And also, Reckless Ben's crew deserves all the money in the world for what they've had to put up with.
Yeah, they really need to look into this and figure out why this is happening, because this is the kind of stuff that makes people hate the police. It makes people hate the court system, and it makes people hate the law. And the reason why is because they're right. They're right to hate all of these systems because these systems are being used as tools of oppression.
Oh, it's up to 500K now? TLG? Oh shit, dude. Hold on.
Against average people that are trying to be treated fairly. So the issue is that it's not even about bricks and
No, I'm pretty happy that it's back up, dude.
minifigs. It's not even about Ben. It's about maintaining trust and security.
Yeah, it's back up a day later, exactly. So I have a feeling that this lawsuit is going to get thrown out. I have a feeling that this judge is going to throw out the lawsuit. A bit of fucking pressure, and they folded exactly. TLG, exactly.
Inside of knowing that you are going to get a fair trial.
If you guys can, though, double tap your screens to like the stream. It does help the channel grow. Double tap your screen to like the stream. Let's go.
And fair treatment whenever you are, you're dealing with the courts or with the law. Just call JD. I don't think I can DM him. Can I? Let me see if I can DM JD Vance. I don't think I can. I can't.
Damn it, you can't. Oh, you can't send a DM to JD? The GOAT?
I cannot.
Was put on me because this company was telling the court that I was making bomb threats.
Elon doesn't work there.
Planning on murdering the manager and employees, which obviously I didn't do, and you can see that in the footage. Mm-hmm. The only problem is I was not given a chance to share my side. Mm-hmm. The court just heard their perspective, not mine. So because I wasn't able to share my side, I am now no longer allowed to talk about them, and it looks like this might be it. So, yeah.
Wow.
I'm pissed about that, man. I think it's going to get thrown out, though. I think the lawsuit's going to get thrown out. I don't think any judge... I don't think anybody worth their salt is going to take anything that's sent from Utah seriously, because Utah is freaking low IQ. Utah is a low IQ state, dude.
Wow. That is absolutely fucking insane. A mystery company named Pricks and Mini Dicks. I like that. If Ben can no longer talk about this, everyone else must too in his stead. They do.
Yeah, we can talk about it. We're all going to talk about it. There needs to be an uproar right now. Uproar. Uprising. We're going to be bricks and minifigs. There needs to be a massive, 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 massive boycott to bricks and minifigs. And anybody who does business with bricks and minifigs, we're going to say no.
And, I'll do the best that I can to talk about this and get involved. This is the longest corporate suicide I've witnessed in a long time. This is exactly why, by the way, I said that you should never forgive them. You should never forgive them for what they're doing.
Yeah. Absolutely, 100%.
Because the only reason why they're asking for forgiveness is so they can take advantage of your goodwill. These people are absolute parasites. They're awful, and you should never, ever, ever forgive this. This is totally fucked up. They tried to ruin this guy's life, and they're still trying to do it. And they're even trying to take the money that was raised legitimately and then have it reallocated to themselves. That's insane. DM Dan Bongino.
Yeah, that's so messed up, dude. Extremely messed up.
Oh. Can I? I don't really know Dan Bongino. I can DM Dan. I would feel weird doing that. Should I DM him? Like, I mean, he's not really involved in the FBI anymore. He left. Like, if there's a person I think I could DM that would be able to get the message out there, but like, just try it. Maybe. I don't know. He's a traitor anyway. What the fuck? Like, what are you talking about? There is somebody that I might message about this, and if that doesn't work, I might message somebody else about it too. And he knows people outside the, he knows people. It's about noise. Even getting Dan to talk about it. Okay, yeah, I'll consider it. I will. Someone with connections, yeah, and I can do that. I mean, like Obviously, I can't really. I've talked to Ben before. I actually talked to him this morning, not about the case, obviously.
Oh, he talked to Reckless Ben? Asmund Gould actually knows Reckless Ben? I did not know that.
Because that would, cause him problems. But, like, it was actually just about something that he had messaged me about a couple of days ago. But, yeah, I can't really talk to him about this because this is the lawsuit. I'll just have to do it myself, right? And just kind of make a decision. So, yeah, and email or DM Lego Corporate. Yeah, and I think this is another thing is that if this continues to happen, I think that people should be asking Lego, why is one of your biggest distributors going on a mass lawfare campaign?
Oh, yeah, this makes Lego look bad. The longer Lego remains silent about their biggest distributor fucking over people, I mean, this looks even worse for Lego. I think we need to boycott Lego. The fact that Lego isn't doing anything about this, we need to boycott Lego too. Don't buy Lego products. Period. End of story. Stop buying Lego products. I think that would be a good message too. Because clearly Lego is just as complicit. All right, let's keep going.
Against someone who's been trying to call them out for scamming. Like, look at what they did. Watch these videos, see what happened. Listen to the fact that these are people that are literally, like, they're selling your products and they're DM Lego. Maybe I should do that. Let me see if I can message them.
Oh, I'm pretty sure everybody's been DMing Lego. The problem is Lego isn't doing shit. We got Larson Christopher in the house. What up, Larson? My man.
Lego group. I can actually DM them. There's like no way they reply to DMs, right? Yeah, their last post they made was in 2024. I think that's kind of like, yeah, they probably don't use the account. Lego is complicit. You'll get an automated response back. Yeah, I think I will. like have a policy of not involving themselves in outside things. This isn't outside of them. This is literally their biggest like if Bricks and Minifigs said that we support the Third Reich and Hitler, Lego would immediately make a statement about it and say that, you know, we don't want to involve ourselves with these people. So really it's not a like, oh, they don't involve themselves. Yeah.
They need to absolutely involve themselves in this one. That's your biggest distributor. Bricks and Minifigs is going down, dude. Straight up, they're going down. That's going to hurt Lego's bottom line, dude. Lego's bottom line is cooked. All right. Okay. Let's keep going, man. Let's keep rolling, man. Oh, dude, my boy TLG's talking about Peter Kane dog training, dude. Peter Kane dog training.
Yeah, they do. They're just trying to say this isn't bad enough. So I think that, again, it should be important that at least Lego knows about this.
Yes.
Lego needs to know about this.
I'm pretty sure they're already aware. They're just not doing anything.
I don't know if they do. I'm sure they must, but I don't really know. Plot twist, it was Lego suing Ben. Maybe it's a systemic problem. It is. So get the president on my phone. I think Ben knows what he's doing. The short video will help in just the right way. I hope so. Ben's a smart guy, and I hope he makes the right decisions, right? But just in a general way, let me link you guys a video. Obviously, I've been keeping up with this topic for a really long time. I totally support Ben. I think he's completely in the right. And yeah, that's really all there is to it. Please, there's so many wrong things about the situation. It's incredibly wrong, and it's insane.
Yep. This comment says it best. If exposing a crime is punished, you are ruled by criminals. Exactly.
Like, what bothers me so much about this topic is the fact that these bad actors are weaponizing the legal system. It's one thing for them to just be scammers, which is like, okay, whatever, the pieces of shit. But weaponizing the legal system in the way that they have is completely unjustified, and I hate them for it. And I think that really, like,
everybody
you know,
everybody hates Bricks and Minifigs right now, and I'm hating Lego too. Lego, the fact that you're not involved in this, I hate you too.
I will continue lending my voice to this. I will continue talking about it on a daily basis. You know, and if they're going to sue me, then they're going to. I've already got one lawsuit, right? I've already got one going. Might as well have another, right? And so I'm not really even thinking about it or worrying about that. What about Elon? I mean, like, I don't want to, like, I mean, he's just, I know he's like really fucking busy, man. And like, I don't want to get him involved, especially because he's like not involved with the government right now. He's not working at Doge anymore. And so like, yeah, I could probably hit up Elon about it, but like, I mean, he's just so fucking busy. I could see it being annoying to him. And that's really it. But and also like, yeah, he's fucking busy. Like they're dealing with like the what is it, that Tesla shit. There's the SpaceX IPO. Like there's a lot that he's doing, right? I mean, he hasn't even played. I don't think he even played PoE this league. I mean, this is a huge new league, crazy new league. He hasn't even played the game. Like if he hasn't even tweeted once about PoE, you know he's fucking busy. By your logic, why wouldn't games?
Oh yeah. Absolutely.
Workshop be directly involved? I don't know how Game Workshop is connected to this. Oh, maybe through Star Wars? I'm not really familiar with that. I have no idea. I'm going all in on SpaceX. I don't do direct investing for like liability reasons, but I would probably invest in SpaceX. I wouldn't say for sure, but yeah, there's a pretty good probability I would do that.
I think the IPO is going to be too huge. I think it's going to be severely overvalued, and that's the only reason I'm staying away from the SpaceX IPO. I'm staying away from the SpaceX IPO. I think it's going to end up being very overvalued. I love Elon, but I think it's going to be overvalued.
Let me see here. And also, like, here's another reason, too, is that it's not even about being able to make money. It's about supporting something that's a good thing, right? And that's what I've tried to do, like, you know, in terms of, like, supporting games or supporting people. It's not about the money. It's about sending a message.
Yep. God, Meet Kevin is an idiot. Biggest dumbass I've ever seen. Heated escalation. U.S. and Iran trade fire after chopper down 5 minutes ago. Let's take a look.
Thank you, Brian. Tehran and the U.S. trading blows now. Iran's downing of an American helicopter prompting a fiery U.S. response as the president gives a new update on the state of negotiations. This is a quickly developing story as we come to air in New York City. Here we go now. I'm Bill Hemmer. Good morning.
Good morning. I'm Dana Perino, and this is America's Newsroom. As you said, it's fast breaking. So CENTCOM says it took out 20 Iranian targets, including radar sites all around the Strait of Hormuz. This after an Iranian drone downed a U.S. Apache helicopter off the coast of Oman. Both American crew members are safe, and we'll have much more on that in a moment.
So that fighting, just the latest blow to the ceasefire. President Trump signaling he's fed up. Telling Fox News earlier today that he may hit Iran even harder, targeting that country's power plants.
Yeah, it's going to need to happen. We got to stop negotiating with Iran. We got to say we're done.
And possibly its bridges.
And the president writes on True Social, quote, Iran is all talk and no action. The bully of the Middle East is dead. They've taken too long to negotiate a deal that would have been great for them. Now they will have to pay the price.
Yep. This is what you get when you procrastinate. This is what you get when you intentionally procrastinate. Doesn't work.
Price. So Trey Yingst with the latest from Tel Aviv. He spoke with the president just a short time ago. What else did he tell you, Trey?
Yeah, Bill, Dana, good morning. Overnight, the United States launched a series of airstrikes against Iranian targets along the coast. The Iranians responded with missile fire toward U.S. forces. And I spoke with President Trump earlier. He told me he may keep going and is even getting closer to targeting Iranian power plants and bridges because President Trump says the Iranians are tapping the U.S. along at the negotiating table.
Exactly. This needs to happen.
This is a significant development and a change in thinking here because the president says they had a chance to sign a deal and survive. And ultimately, this week, they shot down a U.S. Apache helicopter with a drone. The president giving Fox News some new details on that incident off the coast of Oman. President Trump says the drone lodged in between the two crew members. in this Apache helicopter, and it was on fire, but it didn't explode. The president says there was a lot of heat there in the cockpit. Ultimately, the pilot was able to bring this helicopter down into the sea, and these two crew members were actually rescued by a sea drone. For the first time in U.S. military history,
That's
President
wild.
Trump called this
An unmanned sea drone rescued them. That is crazy.
a miracle. We are getting response from the Iranians this hour as it relates to the U.S. strikes that took place overnight and the exchange of fire. Here is what the spokesperson for the Iranian Foreign Ministry had to say.
We need to examine this properly. Look, diplomacy and the battlefields are not separate from each other. They are part of the same continuum, two parallel tools used to safeguard Iran's national interests and national security. Wherever necessary, our armed forces respond to the enemy with strength and power.
In those strikes overnight, U.S. forces targeted Iranian radar sites and air defense systems that President Trump says the Iranians had tried to rebuild during this ceasefire. Again, though, the latest information that we have from the president, he says he may continue striking the Iranians and that he is getting closer to targeting Iranian power plants and bridges as the Iranians tap the U.S. along at the negotiating table. Bill, Dana?
All right, Trey Yingst, thank you.
So let's recap with a series of maps to explain at home what we believe transpired over the last 36 hours or so. Remember what the Iranians want. They want the international shipping lane to run between these small islands off the coast of Iran. Currently, it goes this way over the coast of Oman, and that's the internationally recognized waters. All right, that is a backdrop. Here is what happened overnight with the U.S. responding. Keshem Island has been hit, Bandar Abbas, a big port city, and two other lesser-known port cities.
We got Nate Dogg saying, just popping in on break, what's the news? It looks like Donald Trump is probably going to target power plants and bridges because Iran is taking far too long to come to the table. And most notably, they shot down an Apache helicopter. So I think the negotiations are done. I think they should have been done a long time ago because you can't trust Iran. Period. End of story. You just can't trust Iran. So I appreciate Trump's efforts for trying to get a deal made, but Trump should know a deal just isn't going to happen. It's just not going to happen. Period. End of story. Do we want it to happen? Sure. I want a deal to happen more than anybody.
Cities were hit as well on the Iranian coast. So that's where we stand at the moment in response to what happened with that Apache helicopter. What did the Iranians do last night?
Primal is my biggest fan, by the way.
They apparently targeted 3 different areas in the Middle East, and as Trey will tell you, these countries are essentially on the front lines of the current war. There were missiles fired at Bahrain, host of the 5th Fleet by the U.S. Navy, missiles fired at Kuwait, and missiles fired at an air base that the U.S. operates out of Jordan, where a lot of the F-35s fly from. We do not have bomb damage assessments from these 3, but based on the information we're getting so far, some of these missiles were knocked from the sky, and there may not have been any damage on the ground, so stand by for more on that. Now to what happened over here on the board. This Apache helicopter was off the coast of Oman about 36 hours ago, patrolling this area at sunset when it was hit by this Iranian drone. 2 pilots are in the water for a period of 2 hours, so it's dark now off the coast of Oman in the Arabian Sea. What does the U.S. military do? For the first time now, they send this U.S. Navy Corsair, which is a drone-operated boat.
That is so crazy. So 24-foot autonomous surface vessel developed by Saronic Technologies. Dude, we need to invest in Saronic, by the way. Hold on. Are they a publicly traded company? Hold on. Saronic. Okay. So I don't think I never type in here. Usually the brony stuff is just skeevy. Okay, so it looks like Saronic. Let's see, SARO. Yeah, it doesn't look like Saronic's at least a publicly traded company from what I could tell. Maybe. Oh, maybe. Hold on. Standard Aero, Inc. It's possible that Saronic might be a company that's Standard Aero is actually. Hold on. Let me talk to ChatGPT real quick. How do I invest in Saronic Technologies? They may have a parent company. It's very possible. Okay, so it says Saronic Technologies is not publicly traded, so you can't buy it on Robinhood like a normal stock or ETF. There is no regular ticker symbol right now. Saronic is a private defense tech autonomous ship company that recently raised. Oh, okay. Yeah. All right, well. They may eventually go public, though, so there's that. This is why I love. So one of the reasons why I invest in like BDCs and stuff is because I have a very diversified portfolio of BDCs, but mainly because you basically get exposure to private companies, and this is why BDCs are awesome because I have a very diversified portfolio, but having BDCs first off gives me really good cash flow. Plus, it gives me exposure to the private. The private sector, not the public, private companies instead of public companies. Now, granted, I love my exposure to public companies, but if I want really fat gains, BDCs are pretty nice. I like having BDCs in my portfolio.
It's 24 feet long. It was developed by Saronic Technologies starting in 2021. So this is very new technology. 1,000 miles.
Oh, if you guys can, though, don't forget to tap the gift button and send a gift. The more gifts we get, the better. So please send a gift. Any sort of gift, whether it's a small gift, whether it's a large gift, tap the gifts button and send a gift. Send me sparkles. Send me happy poop yum yums. Send me unk alert. Send me flow state. Send me whatever gift you think is appropriate for me. I appreciate any gifts, and they help the channel. In a lot of ways, they help fund the channel. So the more gifts, the better. So send me a gift if you'd like. Happy poop yum yum is my favorite gift, by the way. Eric Von Erich says, wait, what? I just got out of the shower. So yeah, if you guys can, like I said, send me a gift, bro.
Laugh out loud.
Oh, Nate Dogg is a member for 8 months. He said, I'll send a free chat instead. We just got Nate Dogg as a continuing member of the VIP Deeper Access. We appreciate it, Mr. Nate Dogg. He said, I'll send a free chat instead. Oh, man. Thank you, Mr. Nate Dogg. I appreciate it. TLG says Biden literally was shaking hands with ghosts. Biden couldn't even form a sentence. Yeah. Crazy.
Miles nautical range can carry about 1,000-pound capacity, which is an easy thing to do when you're looking for 2 pilots in the water. Tough thing to locate, but easy to pick them out of the water and then take them to safety because essentially you're not putting any more U.S. men in danger in the area. This is.
Nate Dogg says so deep. I love it.
How it runs on the video that was filed with.
But if you guys can, though, send me a gift. Any gift that you guys want to send. We're talking about happy poop yum yum. We're talking about if you guys think that this stream is crap, if you guys think that my show sucks, tap the gift button, send me a happy poop yum yum. But if you guys love the stream anyway, you guys can still send a happy poop yum yum because happy poop is my favorite gift.
With us. In some of the areas that it was practiced on for this boat. Again, it's autonomous. It's the future of warfare. The Ukrainians have used it to a degree, fighting the Russian Navy fleet, but this is the first time for the U.S. military.
That is so
Retired
cool,
Vice Admiral
man.
John Fozzie Miller now. Sir, thank you for your time.
I think it's great to have an unmanned drone rescue vessel. The fact that it's basically unmanned, can get to the people that it needs to get to quickly, I love it, man. That's fantabulous. And I'm glad the pilots were safe, ultimately.
Come to our coverage. So we wonder, in this big sphere now of the theater, what's next?
Mud Butters is saying, I'll send you a gift if you can admit that Trump is doing a horrible job. I will tell you that Trump is doing a horrible job when it comes to cryptocurrency. He needs to stop supporting Bitcoin. He needs to stop supporting crypto. He needs to admit that it's a grift. I'll admit he's doing a horrible job with Bitcoin. I think he also did a horrible job with the Epstein files. I will grant you that. No, I don't think Trump is doing terrible in every aspect. I think the Iran war, he's actually doing well. I will say the only terrible thing I'd say he's doing with the Iran war is he's negotiating with a country that can't be negotiated with. So he's doing a terrible job there. He just needs to do bridge and power plant day, in my opinion. So, yeah, no, I can admit he's doing terrible in certain areas, sure. What about inflation? I mean, temporarily, of course inflation's up because we had to go to a war with Iran. We had to go to war with Iran. This was necessary. They were close. They were enriching uranium to near weapons grade. I mean, this is serious stuff, you guys. Come on, man. Come on. So, yeah, I'm not just going to agree with you. No, the agreement with Iran sucked because there were no safeguards. There was no way for us to monitor what their activity. The Obama deal was terrible. Are you kidding me? The Obama deal was awful. Come on, man. If you guys can, though, tap the gift button, send a gift. Happy Poop Yum Yum is my favorite gift, so I will sing the Happy Poop song. So anybody who sends a Happy Poop, you will see a grown man sing the Happy Poop song if you send a Happy Poop.
We are waiting for a response from Iran, and you say that's the wrong mindset. Explain.
Oh, good morning, Bill. Thanks for having me. What needs to happen is the United States needs to take control of the escalation ladder. And if you look at what's just transpired over the last 24 hours, the Iranians shoot down an Apache helicopter. We respond to this Iranian aggression. We respond in a very measured, non-escalatory way to make sure that it doesn't impact the ceasefire. And then we wait for the Iranian response, which we got. And there was missiles into Kuwait, into Bahrain, and into Jordan. So suddenly, the Iranians are controlling the escalation ladder. That's not how we're going to win a negotiation. We need to have control of that escalation ladder. The Iranian regime needs to understand if they conduct any kinetic strikes anywhere in the Gulf, that is a broach of the ceasefire, and they'll pay a serious consequence for that. So there needs to be a cost imposition that they're currently not feeling.
Let's see. Mud Butters is saying, can you admit Trump accomplished in destroying any deal? We'll have to pay billions, and we'll have to back down. No, why would we need to back down? Look, I think that the Obama deal sucked. I'm not going to admit that it was a good deal. That would be lying. It was a shitty deal. He ripped it up intentionally because it was garbage. Yeah, I'm not going to lie. I'm not going to lie to you and say that I think that it's a good deal. No, the Obama deal was not a good deal. I think it was a bad deal.
The Iranian foreign minister posted this on X, saying that despite its defeats on the battlefield, which is curious. Anyway, he says the U.S. opted to test our determination. Our powerful armed forces will leave no attack or threat unanswered. Leave our region if you want to be safe. History of the Persian Gulf has many chapters on dire fates of intruding outsiders. They are counting.
Sorry, hold on. Let's keep going.
On history, I guess, and they're also trying to explain to their population and maybe even their Gulf allies who will believe them that they have the upper hand. It was just reported that apparently the Qataris have sent negotiators and they feel positive about the next step. How much stock would you put in that?
Well, we've been hearing for the entire length of the ceasefire, Dana, that peace is at hand, that the Iranians are desperate to make a deal. The deal's coming at any moment. The Iranians are desperate to stay in power, and that's never going to change.
Hold on. Hold on. So I could give you a plethora. I believe I can give you a plethora of reasons why the Obama deal with Iran was horrible. I'm pretty sure I can. Are you ready for this? Are you ready for this? I think the biggest argument for it being horrible is that it was a temporary nuclear pause, not a permanent fix. Look, the U.S. gave Iran too much sanctioned relief, while leaving Iran's regime, missiles, proxies, and also long-term nuclear infrastructure mostly intact. The deal, first off, it restricted Iran's enrichment program. That's a good thing. Gave inspectors more access, but many limits had expiration dates. Now, one of the biggest criticisms is that it did not dismantle Iran's nuclear program. It limited enrichment, centrifuges, and stockpiles, sure, but Iran was still allowed to keep a civilian enrichment program. So that's pretty much screwed up. No civilians should have an enrichment program either, because the Iranian regime will just take that enriched uranium and use it for their own purposes, because it's a fucking dictatorship. So yeah. Basically is legitimizing Iran's nuclear infrastructure instead of forcing a full shutdown. Another criticism, I guess you could say, is the sanctions relief. I mean, look, Iran received like phased relief after the IAEA verified the nuclear steps. And critics, by the way, critics argued that money flowing back into Iran could strengthen the regime and help fund regional proxies, even if the deal itself was technically focused on the nuclear program. Look, terrible. There are plenty of reasons why the Obama deal sucked. Yeah, no, I think it needs to be power plant and bridge day. Iran is asking for too much. It needs to be, Trump needs to do his thing.
So if we want that to change, there needs to be constant pressure on them. That's military pressure, diplomatic pressure, economic pressure. Anytime we ease off on any of that, the Iranians are going to see it as a victory, they're going to see it as an opening, and this conflict is going to continue on and on.
Sir, what I hear from you and others is that unless we go back to significant military strikes, we're not going to move the ball here. Do you think the commander-in-chief has shown a willingness to do that?
Well, the president's been extraordinarily patient thus far, maybe more patient than many of the rest of us would be or think that maybe he should be. So in his Truth Social post this morning, he indicated that the Iranians had missed their opportunity and that they should stand by. I don't know that we need to go back to 400 or 500 strikes a day, but certainly we need an active military.
I'm sorry, Mud Butters. I don't really care if you give me anything, because you want to know why? I'm right and you're wrong. That's all there is to it, dude. I'm right. If you have to give me money to make me say something that you agree with, you're in the wrong. You're an idiot. You're a dumbass.
Military effort that's aimed at getting the strait open. So when we talk about bombing radar sites and other infrastructure that's in place in the Strait of Hormuz, all of that should be gone. The regime's ability to close the Strait of Hormuz needs to be shut down, and we need to put that pressure on them. Eventually, we may need to put more pressure on them, and that includes lines of communication. How are they communicating from Tehran down to the Strait? How are they moving weapons around the country? Whether that's interdicting roads or bridges, that remains to be seen. But all of those things need to be on the table, and the regime needs to understand they are, in fact, on the table.
Fozzie, can you tell us from your perspective about this remarkable technological achievement that an unmanned vessel was able to rescue our two helicopter pilots and bring them to safety? I mean, that seems pretty remarkable and advanced, and perhaps a sign of things to come in the military.
Dana, the United States has been experimenting with unmanned craft, aircraft, surface craft, subsurface craft, particularly in the Gulf region for several years now. And that technology is beginning to mature, and we just saw the kinds of things you can do with that. But imagine instead of having one or two of these boats that go and pick up these pilots, and thank God that they did, thank God that they're all right, but imagine 100 of those, some of which are surveillance assets, some of which are able to shoot down drones, some of which are able to interdict cruise missiles. Think about the kind of security, unmanned, uncrewed, that we could have in the Strait of Hormuz against the Iranian threat without putting any people in harm's way.
Admiral, thank you for your time. We'll wait to see what shoe drops next in this. And who.
I am curious to see what happens, man. I am curious. We shall see.
Who does the dropping?
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, thank you for coming on. Be sure to.
I don't know, man. Look, from what I've been able to tell with this video, I think that, in summary, if I could summarize what I've analyzed here, I would say that what we're looking at is the beginning of the end for Iran. I think Trump has lost all patience with Iran. I know I would have. I would have lost patience with them the second I would have tried negotiating with them if I was president. I'd be like, screw this, dude. Screw this.
To significant military strikes, we're not going to move the ball here. Do you think the commander-in-chief has shown a willingness to do that?
Yeah, I think, please, Trump, stop negotiating with Iran. I just don't think, I think it's a lost cause. It's a lost cause at this point. All right? There's no reason to keep negotiating with Iran. They're just using these negotiations to buy time so they could regroup, get more missiles. We need to just take out all their missile silos, everything. Iran started this war a long time ago by being the #1 state sponsor of terror, by enriching uranium to near weapons grade, by killing their own citizens for protesting the existing regime. And you could tell me I'm wrong, but Iran's terrible. All you guys can ever say is, like Tony Hype said, it's all Trump's fault, is all you guys could say. That's all you could say. That's all you could do.
Well, the president's been...
Anyway. Trump says Iran will pay the price. Let's take a listen.
Yeah, listen to this. And it came out on Truth Social. President Trump posted. Truth Social, just one moment ago. Iran's military is a complete and total mess. Much of it, like their Navy and their Air Force, does not even exist anymore. They have been completely defeated. Iran is all talk and no action. The bully of the Middle East is dead. They've taken too long to negotiate a deal that would have been great for them. Now they will have to pay the price.
Wow. About that. Jackie Heinrich joins us live from the White House with those details. Jackie.
Yeah, pretty ominous message from the president this morning, guys, and it comes on the heels of new reporting shedding some light on what the substance of the negotiations were before the U.S. was forced to respond to Iran's attack on an American Apache helicopter patrolling the Strait of Hormuz. According to the New York Times, the two sides were working on pretty detailed negotiations related to Iran's nuclear program. 4 big points there. First, a ban on enrichment for somewhere between the U.S. demand of 20 years and the Iranian counteroffer of 10. Also, a plan to dilute or downblend Iran's existing stockpile of 11 tons of near bomb-grade fuel. According to this report, it wasn't yet clear whether that would be shipped outside the country or downblended inside Iran, but the U.S. would be the only observer. Third, Iran was in talks to dismantle its 3 major nuclear sites that were severely degraded in Operation Midnight Hammer last year, and they were also discussing the need for snap inspections to ensure compliance. The Times writes, the result is what American officials describe as the hazy outlines of an accord, assuming the Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps and hardline Iranian politicians do not overrule Iran's chief negotiator, Foreign Minister Abbas Araghchi, or torpedo the much more detailed talks that the United States has proposed.
Contend with grind the program to the halt for 15 years or so. Yeah. Look. For nuclear. Look, I just think that they shouldn't have uranium at all. I just think that Iran shouldn't have uranium, period, end of story. Keep uranium out of there. They shouldn't have any access to that at all, like in any way, shape, or form. I think you guys are aware of this. I mean, you guys have to be aware of this. It's crazy. One moment. All right, let's keep going.
Proposed to hold in Switzerland this summer. All that was upended after Israel and Iran exchanged fire on Sunday after a U.S. Army Apache gunship was shot off the coast of Oman. Its crew was rescued by an autonomous drone. Senate Democrats now raising the alarm over this.
The U.S. helicopter that went down over the strait is a stark reminder that every second...
Of course, Chuck Schumer's going to be like, yeah, it's a stark reminder. Dude, this war has barely lasted any amount of time. The pilots were okay, by the way. We need to just... Look, you know what we need to do? Finish the job. No more negotiating with Iran. No more. It needs to stop. You need to stop negotiating with Iran because it's not working. Stop the negotiations with Iran. Iran is cooked.
And Trump's disastrous war continues is another second that our troops remain in harm's way. Our service members are the best and the bravest in the world, and they deserve better than to risk their lives in a reckless, aimless war. The only sure way to protect our troops is to end this war as soon as possible.
Now, according to another report, the president still believes that a deal is possible and it's right on the horizon. One U.S. official telling Politico nothing changes where the deal stands right now. They also reiterated the U.S. response to Iran's attacks were proportional. But that message on Truth Social from the president this morning, casting a question mark over that with the phrasing too late. So we will look into that and get back to you, guys.
Jackie, I'm wondering how much of that Truth Social post was about the response that Iran had to our response of them taking down the Apache. So we looked at, they hit multiple bases. It doesn't look like they hit anything right now. We're waiting on Jordan's response, but it looked like Kuwait successfully knocked it down, and Bahrain, they might have been one hit. But maybe he just looked at that and said, okay. And as Mark Montgomery says, maybe it's going to go back to a 400 strike day again.
Mm-hmm.
Could be. And, there's been some debate since all of this flared up over the weekend about whether the ceasefire is holding, what ceasefire actually means at this point. So still unclear whether this is a discussion about the peace talks or if those are still operating on one track while the U.S. response to Iran's attack is operating on another. But we'll be reaching out to White House officials here shortly to get some clarity on that.
Jackie, it seems like we're back to the original red line from the president, which is anytime there's American blood. Now, we were blessed. Those pilots, we were able to go get them out of the water, but that could have been bad. And I get the sense that the president, that ticked them off.
Yeah, and, he only has one choice in that situation, which is to defend his red line. I mean, the U.S. president has been pretty tolerant in letting these sort of pinprick attacks that we've seen over the course of this 8 or 9 week ceasefire at this point not derail sort of the broader philosophy that, in fact, it is a ceasefire. A ceasefire in that part of the world, as he said, is when you're shooting more moderately, but insisting that things are still on track and the ceasefire is holding. It sounds to me from reading this and how the U.S. side is framing it that that's how they want to proceed, making sure to reiterate that the U.S. response was proportional to Iran's attack and that the deal is still on track, that the talks are still on track. We heard some reporting this morning from Trey Yingst that some negotiators, I think it was Qatari negotiators, are heading to Tehran to try to resolve the outstanding gaps. And so, with all that moving forward, that said, the president does need to defend his red line that he has insisted is there, which is you attack U.S. troops and, sort of that's the line there. And that's what the U.S. has done. The Truth Social post this morning, though, does need a little bit more fleshing out.
What's interesting is, so they shoot down our helicopter, so we fight back by attacking targets in Iran. Then they retaliate against our bases in Jordan, Bahrain, and Kuwait. So now it seems like, based on what happened after the helicopter, he would retaliate. Donald Trump would decide to do something to Iran, an attack. And what's different about this latest Truth Social, he said they've taken too long to negotiate and they will pay the price. It's a shift in focus, right, Jackie? Because in the past, it's been if they don't come to the table, if they don't negotiate, then we will have to basically retaliate. But this one's saying they will.
Yeah. So here's the thing. I think we need to do a full-on retaliation. Not proportional retaliation. I think a full-on retaliation against Iran. Look, Iran is already on thin ice with us. I think that ice is broken, and I think that Donald Trump is going to go for I think he's going for it. Trump is done. We're done. The American people are done with Iran. We're done with Iran. We're done with them playing games with us. You don't play games with our president. You don't play games with our military. Trump needs to finish the job. Period. End of story. Finish the job.
Will pay the price now. It's not a maybe.
Yeah, and
I'm serious. Trump needs to finish the job. No more pussyfooting around. Finish the job.
I've heard the president say all along that the Iranians are taking too long, and heard U.S. officials explain sort of why that delay exists, just the mechanics of getting an answer from the Iranians with the fractured regime that they have. The other part of that post, though, tells me that, the president is still emphasizing that Iran's military, it has been, in many ways, the conventional apparatus.
And he says it's time for Trump to take action, Garza. Exactly. You know what the job is. You know what finishing the job means. It means getting rid of the Iranian military. It means getting rid of the Iranian regime. It means getting rid of all of the terrible crap in Iran. Look, Iran's terrible, dude. You know it. I know it. We all know it. We all know that what Iran is doing is awful. The Iranian regime is terrible.
Has been obliterated. There are still, as we've heard from U.S. officials, the drones, the types of munitions that are easy to manufacture that will continue to pose a problem, but pointing to the Navy being at the bottom of the sea, as he often points out. And so the question for military analysts is...
I need some water. Hold on. BRB, I need some water. Send gifts if you want. Hold on.
I also got to brush my teeth. Hold on.
We're back. We're back. Sorry for the delay, everybody. Sorry for the delay. Happy poop, yum yum. Happy poop, yum yum. Happy poop, happy poop, happy poop, yum yum. Okay. All right, what do we got here? I'm not doing that in the sink, brony. Everybody thinks I'm pissing in the sink. What the hell? What is wrong with you guys? Is there anything I'm doing for when we hit 11K? I think I might do a frosting stream. I think a frosting stream is in the cards. No tutus though. I don't plan on a tutu stream by any means, but definitely, I think a frosting stream is definitely in the cards for sure. I really do. I really do. But you know, we'll see what's in the cards. Let's keep reacting to this video here real quick, though. We're gonna keep reacting to this Fox News.
What would it take to get Iran to believe that they are in a position of defeat so that they can come to the negotiating table in earnest and, you know, agree to some of these things?
I appreciate that, Annie, though. It's a good idea. I haven't really thought ahead about the 11,000 because we're almost to 11,000. It's crazy. It's actually taken us a lot longer than expected to get to 11,000, but we're doing pretty good.
But as the president and as some of these articles point out, there is a distinction between who the U.S. is negotiating with in the political realm, the foreign minister, for instance, and the IRGC, the council of advisors that surround the supreme leader. And
oh, man, CS, I agree with that completely. You should go support Iran in Iran. Yes. Anybody who's in America, if you're in America and you're supporting Iran, you should just go move to Iran and support Iran. Go support the Iranian regime. They'll love you.
Just the messaging.
Jeez. Seriously.
Back and forth between them and the risk that at any juncture over the course of those negotiations that it falls apart. So the president is expressing some impatience this morning, and you know we'll see what that means, guys.
Thanks, Jackie.
Thanks, Jackie.
Thank you.
What do you think about him posting this and saying basically, just wait?
Well, I think the president was always going to get to this point.
Yes.
The reality is we were 2 weeks out from finishing Iran.
Yeah.
There was a lot of public pressure, gas prices. Some of the politicians wanted to talk about the midterms. Some staffers wanted to talk about the midterms. And so the president left some targets that they already had to get a deal. He left some of the leaders because he thought he could negotiate with them. These people have not acted in good faith.
Nope.
And when they attacked the helicopter, that was it for the president.
Yeah.
And they still don't want to negotiate. So I think we will.
I don't think the deal's happening, dude. The peace deal's off. I think after that attack on the helicopter, dude, the Apache helicopter, peace deal's off. It's power plant bridge day. Iran, sorry. Bye-bye. You've done it, man. We've given Iran ample amount of time. We've given Iran so much time to come to the table and just agree to the correct things. Instead, they're like, no, we want a nuclear program. No, you don't deserve one. Sorry. You want to know why Iran doesn't deserve one? Because they've been the #1 state sponsor of terror. Their government has killed thousands upon thousands of people innocent people for protesting the existing regime. And also, they were pretty darn close to weapons-grade uranium. All right? How do I spell it out for you guys?
And those operations again, and those targets that were already on the table before.
You know, what's interesting now is there's been mass hangings there of the people that rose up in January and February. But now, if this starts again, they have the internet. So they're able to interact and maybe work with and give intelligence to us in real time because of the 90 million, they say, of the 90 million in Iran, 88 million, maybe 89, hate this regime. Mm-hmm. And for those people who say, well, they're fanatics. The Japanese were fanatics.
Right.
The Nazis are fanatics.
Yeah.
Right? Think about what they represented. Mark Montgomery was on with us a while earlier and said, you know, politically, the president does not want to have to do it, but he thinks we're going in this direction. Watch.
like at some point this is going to probably escalate back up to to a full scale, like 400 strike day in the near future. If this back and forth keeps going, at some point you can't just keep doing proportionate strikes back and forth. If they continue to reach out and try to hit ships that are transiting through the Southern Scheme, which is
Laugh
what
out
was
loud.
going on last week, or they strike.
Hey, thank you, Joshua Mesner, everybody. Just sent a park the bus, dude. Thank you for the gifts. Sent a park the bus for 1,000 joules. Josh, thank you from the bottom of my heart for that gift. Seriously, thank you from the bottom of my heart. If you guys want to be like Josh Mesner and send a park the bus, we greatly appreciate all gifts on this channel. It really does help the channel grow. Everybody, Joshua Mesner 419. Let's. You deserve all the love, my man. Thank you for helping out the show. No, really, thank you for helping out the show, man. Any gifts that anybody sends, whether they're big or small, I just want to say I greatly appreciate you. Get the recognition you deserve, which is good. So any gifts you guys send, if you guys want to be like Joshua, send a gift, man. Tap the gift button. It really, really, really helps the channel in more ways than you guys can imagine. In more ways. So please, I do like the happy poop yum yum, though. That is my favorite gift. So anybody who wants to send happy poop yum yums, I greatly appreciate it. But let's keep going. But hey, once again, everybody give a shout out to my boy Joshua Mesner, everybody. Thank you, Joshua. What a stud, dude. What a freaking stud. That really helps out a lot, man.
Strike at our allied partners' bases, in the Middle East, Kuwait, Bahrain, ones that are much harder to defend because of their proximity than, say, Jordan, where we have a lot of warning. If that continues, at some point the president's going to have to do real cost imposition on them and what's called a disproportionate or escalatory strike. But I think the president's trying hard not to do that.
I would say one last thing, because there's going to be a lot of talk after the president just released this. Who stopped the deal, right? And this past week, you've seen a lot of people talk that Israel is the one who's stopping the deal because of their fight with a terrorist organization, not Lebanon.
Well, here's the thing. I don't trust Israel at all. I don't think most people do. I don't know how anybody can, really. But we're going to see what happens. Like I said, I don't trust Israel. I don't trust Iran either. I mean, these are both countries that I don't trust. I don't trust Iran. I don't trust Israel. Neither. I definitely trust Israel more than Iran, for sure. But, yeah, I don't think Iran's coming to the table.
But Hezbollah, that is based in there, they're sponsored by the terrorists in Iran. You know now who stopped the deal. It's the IRGC who fired on our people. Those are the people that got in the way of the deal. The president continued to extend an olive branch, but if you're firing on our people, he has no choice now. So the BB fight and all of this.
Hey, Generation X, guess what? Trump's the man. I don't care if Trump cares about me. Trump wants to see a better America. He doesn't need to care about me specifically. It's unrealistic for him to even know that I exist. What I'm saying is that what Trump is doing is good for America. Trump is doing the right stuff for America specifically. That's what I'm saying, dude. By the way, thank you guys for the gifts. If you guys can, don't forget to tap the gift button. It helps fund the show. Gifts really do help fund the show more than you realize, so keep it going, man.
Which is captured headlines. That's irrelevant now.
You hear a lot of people say he just needs to finish it. Like if we were really 2 weeks away.
Yes, exactly what she's saying. She's saying that people are saying we should finish it. We should. We just finish the job, dude. If we have given Iran far too much time. Finish the job. Stop with these ceasefires. Let's just end it. I'm just so sick of hearing about Iran. I even think Iran is sick of hearing about Iran. We're done with Iran. Period. End of story. Finish the job. Finish the job, dude. Come on, Trump.
Away from finishing the job. And Iran continues. If they say ceasefire, we're going to negotiate. Oh, no, we're not. They never come to the table. They can't even get along, the leadership. So we're watching them attack Israel. Then Israel has to retaliate. They attacked our helicopter. We have to fight back. Then they're attacking our bases in the Middle East. We can't sit back and just watch them do that.
Yeah, and by the way, Israel's not attacking Lebanon. It's attacking Hezbollah, which is the cancer inside Lebanon that Lebanon would love that cancer to be
eradicated,
to disappear.
Yep.
So the thing that is taking place now is that the President of the United States is going to be looking at the 2 weeks worth of targets probably, and unless they rise up, he must have been picking up intelligence that shows they were no longer negotiating. So he said, okay, you're not going to negotiate. You're not convinced that the 13,000 plus.
By the way, Generation X is just as lazy of a generation as the Boomer generation. If any, I mean, millennials suck. Don't get me wrong. I'm a part of the millennial generation, but Generation X is pretty gay.
Plus strikes that we had, and the 8,000 plus strikes that Israel have degraded you to the point where you're still saying that you're going to be the beast of the Middle East. That's not going to happen. So now we're going to see, because one thing they've done over the last few weeks, 8-9 weeks, is they brought their launchers out.
Hey, Trump's the man, dude. I voted for Trump in 2016, 2020, and 2024. I repeat, I voted for Trump in 2016, 2020, and 2024. Proud of it. Proud of it.
Digging them out. You know what they are now?
Good decision. You want to know why? Because guess what? Iran is finally done. The bully of the Middle East doesn't have any teeth.
Now, targets.
Yeah.
So now we're seeing how they react and what they've done and what the damage is done. We've been going to school with their satellites on what they still have.
Right.
And now we've actually brought more firepower, more sophisticated firepower to the area. And you don't think that Israel knows exactly where the new leadership is? They do.
Well, they've been watching them, and we know many of the new leadership, and the president spoke to this. He decided not to.
ET says, did you really, Garza? Yeah. Why wouldn't I vote for Trump, dude? Why wouldn't I?
Eliminate them to negotiate with them. Well, now that they don't want to negotiate, I guarantee you they're back on that list that would be disseminated to the intelligence community. The last thing I'll say about this, Johnny Ratcliffe, who is probably one of the best CIA directors we ever had, they know these guys' movement. Working with the Mossad on a day-to-day basis, they have been standing by just waiting for the president's orders. And it looks like they're going to probably get it pretty soon.
Well, we know that they were able to do that. Israel has the intelligence to do that. They took out the Ayatollah and a lot of his family.
Right, and they didn't take out the rest of the people. They picked out the part of the building where the leadership was. They went out of their way not to blow up the other part of the building.
Which is how precise they are.
Yeah, which was actually talked about by the foreign minister to a friendly press interview that he had over the weekend. And they must know, we know exactly where they are. The other thing they didn't do, 8 weeks ago, they said there's going to be a ceasefire. They're going to open up the strait. There was a ceasefire. They never opened up the strait.
Right.
So right there, you're in violation, let alone what they've done.
They didn't open up the strait. Then we caught them mining the strait again.
Yeah.
So every part of this negotiation, they say something publicly and then they do something different.
Be sure to like and subscribe for all the...
Yeah, I don't trust Iran. I don't think anybody should trust Iran at all. I think it's crazy. Oh, U.S. readies a new wave of Iran strikes. Yes.
And
Look, I don't like war. I don't like seeing people hurt. But Iran has not come to the table. They've taken far too long. They're not agreeing to anything. And you know what? I think it may be bridge and power plant day. Bridge and power plant day may be here sooner than one would expect.
Do you have any questions, please? Let's go.
Mr. President, on Iran, you posted this morning about Iran, and you said that they've taken too long to get to a deal. I want to make sure I quote you correctly. You said that now they will have to pay the price.
Yeah.
What did you mean by that specifically?
Well, we're going to be attacking them very hard.
You're resuming bombing?
Yeah, well, we are. Based on the helicopter, I guess we have the right to do that. You know, they shot down a very incredible, actually an incredible machine. And at first they said they didn't do it, then they admitted they did. It's sort of easy because we have the bomb. We actually have the bomb.
Yeah, their evidence is right there. The evidence was right there in the Apache helicopter. So I think, look, I think Iran's cooked. I really do. Iran is beyond cooked right now. They are so cooked.
Very lucky that bomb didn't explode. That bomb was lodged in the helicopter.
Yeah, if that bomb would have exploded and they would have took down the Apache helicopter, I think, I mean, if they would have actually, and the pilots would have died, if the pilots would have died, the deal would have been off. The deal would have been off if those pilots had died. I mean, I think the deal's already off, to be honest, because we're done dealing with Iran, and I think we should be. We should not, there's no reason for us to continue to deal with Iran.
It didn't explode. It was on fire, but it didn't explode. Those two guys, they knew how to fly, but they got very lucky. And then we had the unmanned boat going very, very fast at speeds that you wouldn't want to go. That's why it's unmanned, I guess, because nobody can go in that. But they rescued. So both people are, fortunately, the pilots are okay. Now, look, I've been working with Iran for a number of months. And they should sign their deal. It's a good deal. It doesn't give them the right to have a nuclear weapon. In fact, it totally prohibits them from ever having a nuclear weapon.
Which is good, by the way. We don't want Iran to ever have one because we can't trust Iran. And this is proof positive we can't trust Iran. So it's very reasonable to have this clause in the agreement, in the deal, that Iran should never have nuclear weapons. Iran's an unreasonable country. The government of Iran is extremely unreasonable. We need to stop trying to make it. Stop it. Stop trying to make deals with them.
And it was just tap, tap, tap. I don't know what they're doing. So they then shot at our helicopter, very expensive helicopter, by the way, but much more importantly, the two men, fortunately, they're okay. But an amazing rescue. If you ever get a clip, you won't believe the rescue, how cool it was. The equipment we have. Look, we have the strongest military in the world. And I gave them a break at the request of Pakistan, the Field Marshal and the Prime Minister of Pakistan are great. We stopped them from going to war with India. You would have had a nuclear war if it wasn't for me. But they became friendly to me, very, very friendly, and they're close to Iran, and they worked, and they still are working on trying them to do what's right. But we want a deal that's meaningful. We want a deal that...
They should absolutely agree to this because guess what? If Iran doesn't agree to this deal, they're decimated. The truth is, Iran is completely decimated if they do not agree to this deal. I mean, it's the truth. Iran is completely decimated if they do not agree to this. You don't agree, you're cooked. That's all there is to it. That is the situation that Iran is in right now. People aren't getting it, man. People are just not getting it. All the low IQ leftists that are in my chat, they're not getting it, dude. They're just not getting it. And go figure, right? Go figure. Give me a moment. I don't know. Silver looks like it's going to go on a bull run. What do you guys think? Do you guys think that silver's going on a bull run? I think so.
Works. We don't.
Oh, by the way, if you guys can, tap the gift button in the lower right-hand corner. It does help fund the show when you send a gift. So feel free to send any sort of YouTube gift, whether it's small or big. We love all size gifts. We're really, honestly, just grateful. And by the way, when you send a gift, your name shows up, your username shows up on the center of the screen. So not only do you get to help fund the show, you get some recognition as well. And we give you a bit. I mean, the bigger the gift, the bigger the round of applause. So if you guys want to send a big gift, it does help. We appreciate you. We love you. We give you love. So send a big gift, send a small gift, whatever gift, it does fund the channel. So any gifts. So tap the gift button. Let's go.
I don't want to just have a Barack Hussein Obama deal, JCPOA, the worst deal. That was a path to a nuclear. It's the exact opposite. You know, I like on television, they say, oh, they should have kept that deal. First of all, it was over. It was a short-term deal. But that deal was a path to a nuclear weapon. This is a path against a nuclear. You can't have a nuclear weapon. His was a path to a nuclear weapon. They were developing during his administration nuclear weapon. If they had a nuclear weapon, there'd be no Israel, there'd be no Middle East, and they would have absolutely shot at us. So we'll see what happens. But we hit them hard yesterday, and we're going to hit them again hard today, in case you miss it, in case you don't turn on your television set. And we'll see what happens with the deal. We were really close to a deal, but they keep tapping us along. They keep playing us for suckers because you know what? They dealt with some very stupid presidents. I have to say that. I'm embarrassed.
Oh, yeah. Biden, Obama. Yeah. E.T. says, I want to hear you beg more. Hey, if you guys want to send gifts, it really does help. Please hit the gift button below. If you guys hit the gift button in the lower right-hand corner of your screen, super chats help too. Send a gift, send a super chat, whatever you guys want to send. We just appreciate anything you guys send, whether it's gifts, whether it's super chats. It funds the show essentially. So even becoming a channel member helps this show in so many ways. So if you guys can, feel free to send a gift. Tap that gift button. It really does help.
Some very stupid people were sitting there. Yeah.
Be sure to like.
Dude, by the way, if I get a happy poop yum yum, if you guys send me a happy poop, I will do the happy poop dance. If you guys tap the gift button, send happy poop, I do the happy poop dance. I do the happy poop yum yum. Happy poop yum yum. Happy poop, peppy poop, peppy poop. I do the happy poop dance.
And subscribe for all the Fox News latest on YouTube and catch full shows streaming now on Fox.
Dude, Steve Ducey is fucking shilling for Walmart. Are you kidding me?
Well, from its humble beginnings to
Oh no, Steve Ducey's now
Laugh
a
out
Walmart
loud.
breeder.
Arkansas.
Hey, Zaneasley, thank you for the happy poop. I gotta do the happy poop, yum yum. Happy poop, yum yum. Happy poop, happy poop, happy poop, yum yum. Happy poop, yum yum. Happy poop, yum yum. Happy poop, happy poop, happy poop, yum yum. Happy poop, yum yum. Happy poop, yum yum. Happy poop, happy poop, happy poop, yum yum. Yum yum. Happy poop, yum yum. Happy poop, yum yum. Happy poop, happy poop, happy poop, yum yum. Happy poop, yum yum. Happy poop, yum yum. Happy poop, happy poop, happy poop, yum yum.
to becoming the world's largest retailer, Walmart.
By the way, anytime we get a happy poop gift, you guys will see me do the happy poop song. So don't forget to send the happy poops.
Has transformed the way we all shop, and it's changed the retail landscape forever.
So this morning, Steve is live from where it all began in Bentonville, Arkansas. Steve.
That's right, Brian. Good morning to you. Here I am on Main Street in Bentonville. This is the town where Sam Walton, back in 1950, opened that store. And it was Walmart that has changed.
No way. So this is the OG. This is the first Walmart ever.
The retail landscape.
That's awesome, dude. Steve Ducey. That's historic, man. The first Walmart of all time, dude.
He was
it's the headquarters? Okay.
Farm boy from Oklahoma. He grew up during the Depression, but he had a dream. The other retail
Oh my God, this is the OG store. I think they kept it intact the way it was originally.
retailers, they scoffed at his idea, but he said, you know what? I think it's going to work. And boy, did it. The world's biggest
I love Sam Walton, dude.
retail empire started there. Today, it's a museum. Let's go inside.
Hell yeah, dude. Hell yeah.
Sam Walton opened up this kind of five and dime a long time ago. The simple promise, lowest prices in town. And this led to the world.
Well, I will say that isn't true today. Walmart does not have the lowest prices. I mean, if you go to a discount grocery store, obviously they're going to have lower prices than Walmart. But, yeah, I mean, Walmart does a pretty good job of keeping their prices low, for the most part.
World's biggest retailer, right, Kurt?
Yes, sir. Welcome to the Walmart Museum, Steve.
So that's really where it started, right?
Yep. That's the Harrison's Variety Store. That's what variety stores looked like in the 50s. This is a recreation of what that experience was like, down to the red and green tile. Mr. Sam knew his customers cared more about price than decor, so he bought the cheapest tile in town.
Is it true that the name of the company is Walmart because Walmart had fewer letters and it would be a cheaper sign to create?
It's 100% true.
That is awesome, dude. Thank you so much, E.T. I love you, bro. E.T. just said, you the man, Garza. Here's your glaze. And you know what? I'm highlighting that, dude. Thank you so much. I appreciate you, E.T. I love you, E.T. Thank you for the $1.99 super chat, man. You are my boy. If you guys want to send a super chat or a gift, though, super chats and gifts do go a long way. They do help the channel grow. But this is ET, bro. I don't know why that didn't show up on the feed, though. For some reason, your super chat did not show up on the mini feed. What's going on here? I don't know why that didn't happen, huh? Well, either way, man, I appreciate it, ET. Everybody give a shout out to ET, everybody.
Letters, less light bulbs, save money, low prices. Sam.
That's awesome. So basically, he instead of putting 2 L's, he put 1 L. To save a little bit of extra cash. Honestly, that's iconic as fuck. And you know what? It stands out. By the way, WAL Mart stands out more than WALL Mart. So the fact that it's more unique gave him the edge. The uniqueness, that's actually brilliant. Honestly, that's not only brilliant marketing, but it's very affordable. I like it.
Was born in Kingfisher, Oklahoma, really a child of the Great Depression. He experienced the Dust Bowl. He had jobs from an early age, helping his family make ends meet. He broke outside the variety store rules and opened store number 1 in Rogers, Arkansas.
Nobody noticed that guy in Arkansas. Yeah. Until it was too late.
You can sell a lot in a small town if you have what people want at low prices.
That's right.
So everyday low price was a strategy introduced in 1974. It was really part of that secret sauce that has helped Walmart grow to the company it is today.
Yeah, because nobody wants to go to a place that has high prices. One of the reasons why I love going to Walmart is because the low prices, dude. I honestly love Walmart. I know that's an unpopular opinion to have, but I love Walmart. I don't think that Walmart's that bad. You guys could say what you want about Walmart, but, you know, Walmart's the tits, dude. Walmart is the tits.
Want to go see our hologram version of Mr. Sam? Let him tell some stories?
Sure.
All right, let's go.
They have a hologram of Sam Walton?
Sam?
This is crazy. They made a hologram of Sam. Is this like AI Sam Walton? No fucking way, dude.
So what would you like the legacy, your legacy, of Walmart to be?
As Walmart continues to thrive and grow, it can come to live up to what someone once called us, the lighthouse of the Ozarks. The more you give, the more you get. We're proud of what we've accomplished, and we think we've just begun.
That looks so real.
That is crazy.
Sam Walton was the world's richest guy,
That is
and
wild.
he still drove till the day he died. It was very modest. 1979 Ford.
That's awesome,
F-150.
dude.
The reason it is here in this museum is because of this woman, Miss Betty.
So wait, so this F-150 is Sam Walton's original F-150 from the 70s? Holy shit. Dude, Sam Walton's a top G.
Town, of course, knew Sam, and they knew when he was driving the truck, that was him. And he didn't care if it got dents in it, as you can see. Very often, you just would kind of back into something, because he was always, his mind was working all the time.
Sam wanted stuff made in America, didn't he?
Sam Walton's the GOAT, dude. I love Sam Walton, dude. He's an inspiration to me, man. I'm not planning on creating a retail store anytime soon, but Amazon, if it wasn't for Sam Walton, Amazon.com wouldn't exist, because Sam Walton was a huge inspiration to Jeff Bezos. Jeff Bezos loves Sam Walton. He actually carried around one of the Sam Walton biography books around with him all the time in the early days of Amazon. Very amazing, very sensual.
In 1992, he and John Huey wrote his autobiography, Made in America.
What was it about America that Sam Walton loved?
I think he loved serving his community, moving around, living in small towns, and realizing he could provide a service.
I love the tour. Now, who are those people?
These are store managers and club managers from all over the U.S. Walmart and Sam's Club. They want to give you a memento to remember your visit to Bentonville.
Fantastic.
I believe Paul has it right here. This is an official Walmart associate vest.
All right.
Already decked out with some...
Oh, hell yeah, dude. What a stud, dude. What a stud.
Okay, next time I go to Walmart, and there's one across the street, I'm going to see if I get the employee discount. By the way, you guys in New York, when he first started back in the 50s, Sam Walton had a soft serve ice cream machine out on the sidewalk, according to his grandson who just told me this. And that was so that on a hot day, like it's going to be later today, people would stop and say, I'd like some ice cream, and then go and buy something.
Yeah, exactly. That's a smart move, man. They need to do that in modern Walmarts. They need to have like a little ice cream machine. Let people come in, get an ice cream, and buy some shit.
Walmart generates $1.5 billion a day. They've got 2 million employees.
$1.5 billion a day Walmart generates? That's insane.
They are the largest private employer on planet Earth. And it all
That is crazy, by the way.
started right here in Bentonville. You
That's
guys
really
back to you.
cool. Love stories like that. He died at 74 from cancer
We have a lot of angry people today.
in 1992. Changed all
We got Ty Lord in the house. Hell yeah. We got Ty Lord on the chat. Hell yeah.
of our lives, though.
Yeah.
All our school projects, we shopped at Walmart.
Everything.
Mm-hmm.
Thanks, Steve.
Be sure to like and subscribe.
Oh, New York Post says Austin Metcalf supporters clash with Carmelo Anthony supporters. Oh, shit, dude. Oh, shit. Oh, shit. Oh, shit. Summer of Love Riots 2.0, dude. It's basically are we going to see Summer of Love riots 2.0? That's what we're asking here.
Okay, he wanted to get camera time. There's plenty of cameras and plenty of blogs. He wanted camera time. So he
My God, what's going on? What's up with this dude?
Oh, Lord, excuse me. Black through here. Came over here, gave everybody his address. We don't give a you live off Jefferson. That's in the motherfucking hood. We in Collin County. He gave everybody his address. And so when we all got over here, he pushed that man twice. Almost down to the floor. Let me tell you something. Ain't we out here? Because y'all claim a pushed another and he self-defended. This is already out of control. It's over national news, local news, all kind of news. And you're a black man out here putting your hands on.
We are so sick and tired of this Carmelo Anthony shit. No amount of evidence will ever persuade an idiot, says Mark Twain. Yep. The stupidest are the loudest. This is the source of most of our troubles. Nothing more dangerous than stupidity, emotions, and no impulse control. Exactly. Yeah, he's guilty AF, and we all know it, dude.
On folks.
And you know that guy's name?
I don't know his name.
The pink shirt. Is he still out here?
His name is Ratchet TV or something.
My Uncle Tom. Oh, Ratchet TV
he's
got
in
shot?
support of Austin. That's fine. You support whoever you want to. I am not a racist, and I do not tell people what their beliefs should be.
They saying murder. They saying murder. They saying murder. They saying no man's law. They saying murder. I thought it was man.
Play it up for the camera. Play it up for the camera. Play it up for the camera.
I thought it was manslaughter too.
This is like, dude, honestly, this is Academy Award winning acting right here.
Saying guilty of murder on Fox.
This is Academy Award winning.
Right now, they saying guilty of
Summer of Love, dude. Summer of Love 2026, dude. Summer of Love is back, dude. The Summer of Love riots, man. God damn it. I don't know what to say, man. I don't know what to say. I don't know what to do. Don't know what to say. Don't know what to do.
Has it not been announced?
No, I just have a feeling that there's going to be enough crazy Democrats who see this, and they're going to start doing Summer of Love riots. That's what I think is going to happen. I think it's going to be ridiculous Summer of Love, George, you know who. It's going to be that. It's going to be Summer of Love riots 2.0. I'm not ready for it, dude. I don't feel like dealing with it. My fatigue. Give me 1 second, everybody.
I know it. That's true.
Yeah, it was basically George Floyd 2.0. It's basically Summer of Love Riots 2.0. Oh, God. City says better than the dumb policies that everyone has to deal with. Said by the dumb. No, Trump is the man, dude. Trump is the GOAT, dude. Trump is the greatest president we've ever had. I am so sick of this Carmelo. I am so sick of this Carmelo Anthony crap. None of us are buying it, dude. None of us are buying it. We don't buy it. We're not feeling it. I'm not buying it.
And then they want us to hold hand and all the way to in my head, I got to sit there and fight it too. Right. No, you're not.
Texas has stand your ground law, penal code, 9.31, 9.32. He had.
Yeah, I'm sorry. They told him to leave several times, and he basically got pretty... No, I'm sorry. I'm not buying it, dude. I'm not buying the snake oil you're selling me here.
Had no reason to retreat. You don't have to retreat. Understand your ground. He had a right to be there. He was not the aggressor. This whole thing been racist. It was supposed to be a public court. They had a private court, all white jury.
As long as there's accountability and justice served, man, that's just what I'm looking for.
Yeah.
You know, I don't think we can set a precedent anyway.
Yeah, it's not about race at this point. You know what it really is about? It's about, first off, this wasn't self-defense.
Where if you come up, push me, or
this is cold-blooded murder. Straight up, in my opinion.
shove me, that I can just automatically reach for a knife. And,
that's what it is.
You know, murder.
That's just my opinion, though.
I believe in self-defense, don't get me wrong, proportional. But I just don't think, because this would end up setting a precedent right here, in my opinion.
Yeah, this is insane, man. Scott Jennings says, end ballot harvesting in Los Angeles. Absolutely, dude. Abso-fucking-lutely. Let's take a listen.
A week ago had him defeating her, but ever since the ballots have trickled in and these have gone dramatically for Rahman.
Yeah.
Now, I should note the mere fact
And by the way, we all here doubt the result. We wholeheartedly doubt the result on this channel. We do.
Many of these late ballots were against Pratt's. Not necessarily surprising. Republicans are very against mail-in voting, and Trump has urged his people to vote in person rather than by mail. Moreover, it's true that many Dems in California, and remember, the state is overwhelmingly Democratic, may have waited until the last minute to mail in their ballots because they hadn't yet made up their minds concerning the chaotic governor's race. After Eric Swalwell dropped out, they needed more time to learn about Tom Steyer, Katie Porter, and the eventual finalist, Javier Becerra. Okay, fine. That said, we still need to talk about the fact that universal mail-in voting is eroding trust in the system. CNN's Scott Jennings stated it very well. Let's listen.
The system's crazy. I mean, if you wanted to design a system
to make people question the results every year, to make people wonder if there was any funny business going on, you would design it precisely as they have designed it in California.
Yeah.
But, as he pointed out, it's legal today. I don't think the ballot harvesting ought to be legal. I think vote by mail is inherently less secure than voting in person. You know, counting all these ballots for weeks and weeks, it does lead to a lot of questions. But do I think it's fraud?
Yeah, I think it's pretty screwed up. And look at all these look at Harry Enton in his stupid face. Look at all these people saying like, "Oh, Scott Jennings, you're so dumb." No, Scott Jennings is probably the most sane person currently. It is Scott Jennings versus the idiots on CNN. Scott Jennings versus the idiots.
Fraudulent on its face that a Republican didn't get more than 25% of the vote in a mayor's race in L.A.? No, that's not inherently fraudulent. I'm not surprised at all.
Yeah, that's well said. The baseline expectation, of course, was that Pratt would not win the mayoral race, no matter how appealing his videos were on social media to conservatives elsewhere throughout the country. Even if he had advanced to a showdown with Karen Bass, it would have been an uphill climb. But we need to talk about universal mail-in voting, which is practiced in just a handful of states, California being by far the biggest one. Universal mail-in voting is distinguished from partial mail-in voting, i.e. a system where you could request a mail-in ballot. That option should be available for people for a variety of reasons, but mailing by default millions of ballots to people's homes just gonna raise eyebrows. Who fills them out? Who turns them in? You just can't blame people for asking those questions. Our country cannot serve in it can't survive, if half the population has no faith in the outcome of our elections. Now, I
just don't have faith in California. I have faith in Florida and Texas because they have an efficient system. Don't have faith in California, though.
Certainly urge Pratt supporters not to succumb to sore loserism and assert that just because your guy lost, the election was unfair. This is a temptation that many failed political candidates have adopted, including Hillary Clinton and John Kerry, and of course Donald Trump himself. But let's simultaneously get back to some basics. It is absurd to still be counting all the mail-in ballots days after and weeks after the election. We shouldn't.
This honestly should have been figured out at least the day of the election or the day after, one or the other.
Know who won day of. Everybody else can do it. Why can't we? Oh, don't roll your eyes at me. You agree.
I think in an ideal world, sure, we will know that day exactly who won.
Ideal world.
I know, but
join me.
Mail-in voting is a part of our society, whether it's optional or sent.
I think mail-in voting is stupid. I think ballot harvesting is really stupid. I think ballot harvesting should be illegal. I think last time I checked, ballot harvesting is extremely illegal in most states because it does open up for fraudulent behavior. Ballot harvesting's stupid. Yeah, no, absolutely. Ballot harvesting should be 100% illegal.
To everyone, like it was in Colorado, in Denver for me specifically. I got my ballots in the mail without needing to request. One for me, one for Colin. It was simple. We got to bring them down to a polling location and drop them off to a human
Colin
being.
filled out his own?
Yes. Oh, you think I scolded him and said, Colin, do as I say?
Well, I don't know.
Okay, that's not how the household works for me. I'd love to have that much control over Colin, but unfortunately I don't.
Okay.
I think that the Republicans need to let it go. Perhaps Spencer.
Why would we let it go? Why should we let it go? Are you saying that we should just turn a blind eye to what's clearly, you know what? I'm not turning a blind eye to that. Just let it go? No. Let it go. Let it go. I'm not.
Pratt didn't win. No, I still see a lot of people saying it's unfair. But now I see Steve Hilton made his way as the person going against Javier Becerra. And now we're quiet about all the complaints of fraud because then how did Steve Hilton get there if there's so much fraud going on in California? So now the story is shifting because we see a Republican now in the...
Is it pretty hot in here? Well, here, we'll finish up the stream. Let's see here. All right, but I do want to thank you guys very much for tuning in. Mucho appreciado on the gifts, everybody. We're keeping it rolling, keeping it fresh, keeping the show good, dude. But thinking if there's anything else I gotta add to the pile. No, nothing I can think of. But hey, I'll do a stream a little bit later, and I just want to thank each and every one of you guys for being so awesome. If you guys want to send any last-minute gifts before the stream ends, just tap the gift button, send whatever you want. We appreciate everything. It really does help the channel helps the channel grow. And yeah, I'll catch you all on a little bit later. Have fun, everybody.